One thing that really sucks with addiction is that you forget how you used to feel without your drug. Meaning that you had this natural emotional baseline. That you felt okayish. Probably weren't ecstatic, probably you weren't on cloud nine all the time, but there was a sense of emotional stability there. But now, if you have spent the last decade putting drugs in your brain, alcohol, weed, nicotine, whatever it is, then your brain has gotten accustomed to a level of stimulation that's really high. Really high. And when you take this away, you will feel flat, you will feel empty, you will feel like, what's the point of doing this when I am not getting stimulated, when it's just fucking boring? And you go through the first acute withdrawals. Let's say you quit weed. You go through the sleepless nights for a couple of weeks or for a month. You go through the night sweating. You come back. You start sleeping all right again. And you start thinking to yourself like, okay, I went through the withdrawal, but I'm still feeling kind of shitty. I'm still feeling bored. I don't want to do anything. It feels kind of pointless. Like, I should just go back to smoking weed. But you haven't really returned to your natural emotional baseline. Your brain hasn't had enough time to get accustomed to not having this external, artificial stimulation put inside of it in the form of a drug. This takes a lot more time than you might think, especially if you've been a chronic weed smoker for years, or you've been drinking a lot or using nicotine, watching porn, gambling, whatever it is. If you have been doing it for years and years, chronically, stimulating your brain to a crazy amount of excitement, then you will need time. For me personally, it took me a year after I quit drinking and smoking weed to return to a level where I got like this hit of clarity, like, oh shit, this is like my normal brain. This is like how to see things clearly, not to be in some kind of weird fog or feeling off. Took me a year. But I also spent over a decade drinking alcohol and smoking weed. So it takes time. And the whole point of this video is, if you get to this point where you have been off your drug for a couple of months or half a year, and you're thinking like, this isn't working, like, what's the point? I might just start drinking again or smoking weed again. Then know that you need to be more patient. You need to give it more time. It will get better, but if you spend 10 years messing up your reward system, messing up how excited your brain is feeling, then it will take more than a couple of months to return to a normal baseline. You will return to it. Your brain will heal, your life will get better. The cravings will go away if you're still having them. But you need to be more patient. If you have the wrong expectations, if your mind is set to some kind of weird goal, like, all right, I'm gonna be sober for half a year or 8 months, and if it doesn't work, if I still feel shitty, then I'll just go back to drinking because there's no point, then you will fail. And very often these goals aren't conscious. They're in the back of our heads, kinda like thinking like, if I'm not starting to feel better, then, what's the point? There is this kind of subtle belief there. So it's really good to pay attention to what your expectations really are.